So, can we dive into a little bit of an understanding of what was the logic or the thought process around choosing the tools that you used for acquisition on this film?
Yeah. So this sort of run and gun guerrilla documentary style that we've been talking about requires a small footprint in order to be nimble. And nimbleness was really the key for everything. It allowed us to access hard to get to locations. It allowed us to be very flexible on the day. And most importantly, I think it imbues the film and it gives Gareth the opportunity to shoot scenes and scenarios and locations that feel very authentic and lived in, and imbue the movie with a filmmaking style that feels reactive and it feels spontaneous and it feels electric and energetic and exciting. And in order to do that, he needs the physical freedom to be able to move the camera and move around in a space physically in order to do that. I think maybe an important detail that I may have not mentioned is that Gareth was operating the camera throughout the whole film, which he's done both on Monsters as well as on a lot of Rogue One. So he's really in control and in the lead of in terms of where the camera is going and what it's filming and what it's looking at any given time. So our job really became about creating and uplifting and supporting the environment in which Gareth can create the film in the way that he wants and imbue it with that energy. And that led us to choosing lightweight lighting tools, LED, battery-powered LEDs, small lighting package, small footprint, and the FX3 in various gimbal rigs in order to, it all contributed to this idea of keeping a nimble and small footprint.
And I noticed you also recorded into the Ninja 5.
That's correct.
What was the logic for that?
Yeah.
Directly to that, yeah.
Well, it's quite simple. We tested the internal recording format in the FX3 and determined that it wasn't quite robust enough in terms of color and dynamic range for what we were looking for. Considering that the film was going to go through a lot of visual effects work and a whole post-production workflow with Photocam. As amazing as the FX3 was, I think it's also important to remember that it is a $4,000 camera and it comes with certain limitations that we had to work around. Thankfully, the camera does output 4K RAW, and the Atomos Ninja V recorder, V Plus, can record ProRes RAW and capture that raw format out of the Sony. And actually, it was that format that's what unlocked the camera for us. That's what really allowed us in the assessments to realize, oh, the imagery and the color depth and the information and the dynamic range that this camera is actually capable of capturing once you tap into the RAW and record onto the Ninja recorder actually is what puts it up into the level of, oh, this footage could intercut with or be completely interchangeable with Alexa and nobody would really notice. So yeah, it was really instrumental to get that recording quality that we were after, considering all the visual effects work and color we knew that we were going to have to do on the film.